Good morning, class 11. Today I will continue the same chapter and the same topic, that is meiosis cell division, but the next part of it. Up to prophase 1 I have completed. Now today I am going to complete that metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Little bit difference is there between the mitotic metaphase and meiotic metaphase, that is metaphase 1. Now children, this is the metaphase 1. Here you can see both the centrioles are located or placed at their opposite poles. These two chromosomes are already crossed over in prophase 1. Now they are bivalent, and in the metaphase stage they have to come, or they are present near to the equator of that cell. So they are not present on equator, near to the equator. In mitotic metaphase they lie on the equator, and here just nearer to the equator they lie, or they placed, or they get their location. And yet metaphase 1 they remains bivalent. So one chromosome have two chromatids. So bivalent they are in nature. Now children, each bivalent have their own centromere. So when they are in equator, the two centromeres are getting some repulsive force. Due to that repulsion, these centromeres are going away from each other, or wants to separate out from each other, and see, then they lead to the anaphase 1. Slowly this centrosome also drag their astral rays. Due to that pulling force and due to that repulsive force, these chromosomes are going towards the different pole. If the cell had already 4 chromosomes, now two chromosomes become separated towards each pole. Ultimately, or finally, they come closer to the centrosome, and these two chromosomes, when reached near about the centrosome, then there will be the formation of nuclear membrane. Here children, you can see, when the nuclear membrane starts to form, or again it is reforming, that is reformation of the nuclear membrane and reformation of the nucleolus. One nucleolus will be present in each cell. There will be the reformation of nucleolus, then they becomes separated towards each pole, and slowly one cell will be divided into two daughter cells along with the haploid number of chromosomes. One cell already in the starting had 4 chromosomes. Now in that telophase 1, each and every daughter cell have only 2 chromosomes, and at that time they are crossed over already. So they have, here I draw here 4 parts, but they are according to the bivalent, they are coming to the each pole, and because of that crossing over, to show here crossing over, I draw here. In this telophase 1, they start dividing their cytoplasm. This because it is of animal cell, so there will be the division of cytoplasm in the furrow form. They start to constrict, and then slowly the cell becomes divided properly. But in some cases, or somehow, not necessary to divide the cytoplasm. So till here they will finish the telophase 1. So children, in metaphase 1, not more processes are going on like the prophase one, only they come closer to the equator. At that time, each bivalent have its own centromere, and those who are crossed over, they remains crossed over, they never be separated. Only one chromosome gets separated towards the each pole, and then when they feel some repulsive forces between the centromere, then they go to they lead to anaphase 1. In the anaphase 1, centromere becomes separated towards each pole, and due to the pulling force of the centromere along with they come closer to the centromere, and in between there is a presence of a gap. After that, when they start the formation of nuclear membrane, at that time the astral rays through which the centromeres were attached, the astral rays become short. These astral rays, when limited towards the centrosome, and these chromosomes remains in the nucleus and nuclear membrane, there will be the reformation of nuclear membrane and nucleolus, and in this way one cell will be divided into two haploid cell, one diploid cell divided into two haploid cells. This is the animal cell, so that's why there is the furrow method to divide their cytoplasm. In some cases totally they are divided, and in other cases they remains in one cell only, but the cytoplasm little bit constricted. So in this way meiosis 1 is over. Now children, significance of meiosis 1. Again I want to tell you that during meiosis only we can change the number of chromosome from diploid to haploid. So first, due to the crossing over, first the animal or human being can get the variation, yet the parents are same, but they can get the variation. And next one is reduction in chromosome number. Where is reduction in chromosome number? It means if the parent cell have 20, then haploid cell will have 10 chromosome. Again, development of 10 chromosomes, when they get fertilized with another 10 chromosome, again they become diploid and they can survive as their own. Now children, I want to draw here. Very beginning I completed that one diploid cell, then it is reduction division, and two haploid cells are formed. Now children, this is the second type. This is meiosis 1 and this is meiosis 2. Second type is known as meiotic mitosis. Mitotic meiosis. See, mitotic as the name suggests, that like mitosis and division is meiosis. If the like mitosis, the division will be meiosis, it means that all the processes will be like mitosis, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and the processes will be the similar like the mitosis, but here the number of chromosome becomes halved, so the cell is not diploid and haploid cell undergoes mitotic meiosis. And like the prophase, and here there will be the prophase, 2. Prophase 2. Then metaphase 2. Then anaphase 2. And then telophase 2. So children, when they become up to telophase 2, at that time there will be the formation of division of cytoplasm, that is cytokinesis, or the formation of cytokinesis will be there, and it is very essential. Otherwise one diploid cell can't produce the 4 haploid cells, or you can say now they are known as gametes. After this they can form gametes. Children, now in my prophase 2, metaphase 2, telophase, anaphase 2, telophase 2, all the processes just like mitosis. If you suppose you start to draw and start to know about the prophase 2, then there will be the formation of chromosomes. That means they become short and thick. They change their chromatids into, from the thin to thick. They become short and they become separated. Nuclear membrane going to disappear slowly. Nucleus also going to disappear slowly, and all these things again takes place in the prophase 2. After that, again if you will go to the metaphase 2, during metaphase 2, all the 4 chromosomes again come to lie on the equator. This is the metaphase 2. And then again in the anaphase 2, due to the break, this is the centromere, it gets halved. Half will go to this pole, half will go to this pole. It means one centromere have like this, and another one will move to this side, and this there is centrosome, and they are attached with the astral rays. Again it will be the same. So children, there is no problem about the metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2 and prophase 2. All will be the same, just like the mitosis. And then finally they divide Now this furrow will come closer to each other. Again it comes like this, it will come like this, and in this way 2 daughter cells becomes separated, and in this way they form the gametes. Now children, one thing you should understand, in case of male, this is called as spermatogenesis. And if it is spermatogenesis, one cell will give 4 gametes, and if it is in case of female, then the name is given oogenesis. In case of oogenesis, one diploid cell will give, suppose in this way I am telling you, 4 gametes. It will also form 4 gametes. But in case of female, 3 will destroyed. Every time 3 will be destroyed because only one gamete will be there. That's why female have only one ovum in their ovary, but male can produce so many gametes. So this is the reason why in females there is one ovum in their ovary, and in the males there will be so many or millions of gametes they can produce. And just for example, you can say, if suppose 100 cells we have taken here, so 100 cell will give 400 gametes. And in case of female, if there will be one cell, and we will get the one gamete only. So this is the reason why males have more gametes than the female. It will you study in the either next class or in the next chapter. Now children, I want some differences to tell you. Just suppose metaphase 1 and metaphase in mitosis. In metaphase 1, each bivalent, they consist their own centromere, and due to that repulsive force they go towards each pole. But in case of metaphase, only metaphase, that is in mitosis, there is no repulsive force. Only one centromere will be divided, and half of the centromere will go to one pole and half of the centromere will go to another pole. Then in case of anaphase 1, when they move to the another pole, in metaphase also, in mitosis also and meiosis also. So in mitosis, one parental and one maternal chromosomes gets separated towards each and every pole in case of mitosis. And in case of meiosis, one single bivalent go to one pole and another bivalent come to another pole. That's why whatever crossing over occurs before it, or you can say in the prophase 1, same character will go to one pole. There will be no breakage of chromosomes and there is no separation of chromosomes. So these are the differences. Please children, differences keep in your mind about the metaphase, anaphase, and all. Total prophase is the different one. 5 substages are there in prophase. So this is the meiosis and meiosis 1 and 2. Now children, lastly, one thing, that is karyotype analysis. Do you know what is karyotype? Karyotype is the combination of one parental, that is one chromosome for parent side, one chromosome for maternal side. But children, see here, these two chromosomes are not homologous chromosomes, so they cannot go for the synapses or they cannot form a proper pair. So karyotype means formation of proper pair is called as karyotype, and this is the karyotype analysis by which anything can be suggested, anything can be decided, and then the doctors can say about the character, or scientists can get the answers for the different characters, how they are synapsed with each other, how they become homologous. So in male or female, 1 to 22 chromosomes, pair of chromosomes remain same. There is no difference. Only 23rd pair is having the combination of X and Y. So X will be bigger and Y will be the smaller one. This is the pairing of 23rd chromosome. So this is known as karyotype analysis, and this karyotype, when it is drawn on the paper, then it is known as graph, or also called as ideogram. In that case, all the arms of the chromosomes have a main role for that synapses, and they are according to the centromere, they get synapsed and they form the karyotype. So 1 to 22 pair of chromosomes remain same either in male or in female, doesn't matter, only 23rd pair of chromosome is different one. So children, thank you. God bless you. Okay.